Hello everybody, Simon with Quigg, Coins and Bullion here, and today I'm coming to you after the Green Bay show. Guys, I think this is probably one of the best single day shows that I've ever been to. I think it's one of the best shows that I've been to, and one of the best single day shows flat out, period, for sellers, dealers, buyers, all that stuff. We'll talk about that, but we'll dive in and we'll share with you guys all the pickups. Holy crap, guys. I got trays and trays and trays of stuff. And really, this is just what I took home. I bought so much stuff there, guys. Currency, coins, gold and silver. And we'd buy it, put it out, and it would sell. And that's the sign of a healthy market. People want to buy stuff. And yes, this morning, silver is down a little more, and that's okay because, you know, as dealers and buyers do, what you do is you dollar cost average up or down no matter what is happening. But we'll just kind of run through stuff here. Bulk dollars here. I did get a nice tube of 25s. I have 1140 on those. This is mint sealed, I believe. Still sealed up, it looks like. So nice sealed tube there of 25 Eagles. I had a lot of people want to buy singles here, and I said, no, I want to sell it as a tube, but we'll see what happens on there. And you know me, buying bulk commodity items, Canadian paper currency, some just random silver stuff, dollars, more barber stuff. I did have an opportunity to buy some really nice type. We will go into this stuff in the close-ups, and I am trying to get more gold in my inventory. I cannot keep it in stock. You guys keep just tearing through it, guys, and I appreciate that so much. I had some more requests for world silver, so I picked that up at a shop, and I'll talk a little bit more about that in the close-ups as well. More gold, silver, scrap, jewelry, stuff like that. Guys, if you are looking to buy, sell, trade, please reach out to us, and we'll take care of you there for coins, currency, gold, silver, all that stuff. Collector coins here, and I know you guys are looking at all these on the right-hand side here, but we'll get to that in a second. I did also get offered a 1 ounce of palladium, not something I go out of my way to buy, but I bought it at the right price that I need to make a little bit, and I'll offer it to you guys if you're interested. And of course, we got this tray here. Holy crap. Someone had 8 Rattlers out, and I said, I want him. So basically, I looked at him. His prices were pretty fair. He was a little off on a few of them, so I snagged those, and we'll get close-ups on all this stuff. I think all the Rattlers are probably going to go off to CAC just to make sure. It looked like it was a pretty original collection, so happy to buy that. And then a few nicer collector coins here. Silver Eagle set, and this was, I have never bought so much paper. I'm sorry guys if you can hear that. They're doing some work on the roof here. I think they're re-shingling it, so it's just a little noisy, but bulk paper currency. And then I also bought a ton of high quality type that I bought, put out, and it sold basically for currency, graded particularly. A few of these things are left over here, kind of modern silver certificate, and then the other one here is this St. Louis. And then I went to school in Menominee, Wisconsin, and the guy had this, so this is just going to be a personal pickup for me there. Really cool, something that I need. More bulk items, war nickels, V nickels, Indians, all that stuff gets populated on eBay and sold. And my gosh, we bought so much fine silver, and it basically 30 minutes before close, some guy said, you guys have the best price in the room. I want to buy everything you have. And it was just about 90 ounces of fine silver. We went into the show, no fine silver, bought a ton there, and put it out, and he snagged it all at a really, really good price. But we did also buy a ton of 90%, and that has been what's coming into the shop lately. So I will be probably doing a really good deal, probably $2 under spot on this if you guys are interested. And I do have some proof sets here that will probably just get incorporated in there. And then lastly, Ike's stopped at a couple shops, as I mentioned, and picked up some bulk stuff there. But we will dive into the close. Talk about state of the market. Holy crap, guys, that was insane. Such a good show. I had my wife helping me there. Big thanks to her, and big thanks to you guys. I probably had 5, 6, 7 of you guys come up and just say hi. You know, you sold me things, you bought things for me, we traded. I cannot do it without you guys. I really appreciate every single one of you. But let's dive in and look at some of the cool stuff I picked up. All right, everybody, so let's dive into the close-up. And again, I want to thank everyone that came by the show, said hi, bought stuff from me, sold stuff for me. I could not do it without you guys. But like I said, this show was amazing. It was an amazing one-day show. Green Bay, I had, I would probably say record sales for a one-day show. I did a ton of buying, both across the table and from other dealers. There was a lot of quality materials. And we'll dive in and kind of show you some of the stuff that I purchased. We'll start with some of the gold stuff. So really, really nice 1910D MS61. Really, really nice original OGH. CAC is really tough on gold. I don't know if this would sticker, and I probably will not send this one in. I picked up a ton of just smaller fractional stuff. You know, Sovereign's pretty common. This one is pretty sad. But again, you're pretty much just buying the gold issue. The gold there. Got a nice 10, a nice lower grade 5 as well. 10 is actually pretty decent. Probably XF, couple scratches on there. This is probably like my favorite pickup. I got a 10 gram Degussa. This is a little more premium vintage bar, a little bit over spot on something like this. And then I picked up 13 quarter sovereigns. I actually picked these up at Coin Shop on my way to the show. I like to stop by a few shops on my way over on like Saturday before the Sunday show for that kind of thing. And it helps subsidize, it picks up different quality material. I was able to pick up a ton of bulk stuff. And really it is just great for relationship building with dealers. You know, when I get things that they need, I call them. When they get things I need, they call me and I put it in a box, you know, save it for me, that kind of stuff. So I picked up this stuff from him as well as just a bunch of bulk paper currency. The last thing here, I can't even remember the last time I purchased a piece of palladium, much less an ounce, but it is a PAMP Credit Swiss, and it is just really nice. It's not, you know, basically, again, just like gold, you buy it on margin, you sell it for a little over what you paid, and I know wholesale what it goes for, so just nice to get a little variety in. There, I mean, state of the market of the show, it was really, really good. There was a ton of money moving around. There was a lot of people spending money, a lot of people selling stuff as well. And today, again, markets went down. You know, it's tough buying in this, not industry, but just this kind of market right now where it's just so much volatility. But in reality, you know, the price of silver is about where it was a month ago. So, you know, you buy it, you sell it, you make a little bit. You know, for us here in the shop, we try to turn stuff over really, really quick. We had purchased probably 100 ounces of silver, various forms, mostly fine silver bars, stuff like that. And that we sold all that at the show, and we came home with a little more 90% than we had. But really, it was just good all around. I'm not too worried about the market. You know, if you're trying to set money aside, just keep doing that. I wouldn't worry too much about that. But we'll talk about some of the bulk stuff here. Bulk paper currency. I've got one nice star note. These are consecutives in here. And then just some unks, ones. Got those guys. And pardon me, trying to reach behind me, grab stuff. Basically, you know, I get this stuff in the shop, but I love to buy this from dealers. It's easy. You know, you make, just like buying war nickels, just like buying 80%. You buy a lot of it, you make a little bit per note, and basically what I do is I buy it, I sort it, and I put it in stacks. You know, I don't sell much through the shop. You know, I've had some people contact me, and really it's just, I have enough people that just say, you know, this is what I'll pay per piece, and I'll take it all. And it's just easier that way. And if you guys are that kind of person, reach out to me. I'm happy to do it. You know, if people want nice, you know, unk notes like this, and I got them sorted out, you know, I'm happy to price them out for you. But, you know, if there's one or two unks in here and
people, want to come to the shop and pick them out and pay, per piece. But really, I just have enough positive demand online and through other wholesale dealers, guys that do whatnot, that just say, I need this kind of inventory, bulk stuff, just like I need bulk Indian head cents, I need bulk vehicles. And really, it's just, I know what I need to pay per piece, and I have people that come and pick it up. They say, how many you got? This is what I'm paying. And I say, I need an extra quarter, or that works. And then we go from there, and they just take care of it. But again, this is the kind of overburden that I like to purchase from dealers. There's probably a few hundred, silver certificates here, ones. And again, you just buy it, you make a little bit per piece, you move it along to somebody who's going to make a little bit more. And it's just a good way. Oh, bird clock is going off. Just 6 o'clock in the evening when I'm filming this. Was busy today in the shop. Nothing crazy, just mostly scrap that was coming in. But it's still nice having 4 or 5 people come in on a day, as well as a few people buying as well. But like I said, buy it, make a little bit. But this is like overburden for dealers that have been doing this, long-time legacy dealers. They may have thousands of these notes available, and they just don't know what to do with them. They've had them for years and years and years. And you say, hey, I have an outlet for these. What can what do you need for me to take them all off your hands? And they say, wow, and then you're freeing up capital for them. You're taking space, you're making space in their safes for them, and they remember that. And then that is an opportunity for you to be able to get good inventory, quality inventory that you want to buy, that you can make really good money on. But you kind of have to sort through the stuff and get through the chaff to get to the good stuff with some of these older dealers. But, it does work with them because, money talks as much as it is unfortunate. It could be a nice person, but, if you don't spend the kind of money that they need or require, if they're doing, millions of dollars, you really need to help them out in a certain way, and just be able to take care of them and show them that you mean business. All right. Got a few more odds and ends here. The currency. This is cool. These are probably going to go to the same group here. This is a group of consecutive. These are consecutive. So, and they're postmarked 2s, but they have each different state on them. Kind of cool there. I'd not seen anything like this before. Kind of fun. So there's those. And then there is 4 consecutive postmark 2s as well. This was a super easy, cheap deal. Guy had these out. These are really, really sad condition, but for someone that wants them, this is good whatnot material for guys that do that. Basically, I know what I paid on them. I'll make a couple bucks each, and I'll just move them on to someone else who'll make a couple more bucks. Let's see, these are cool. I hadn't had an opportunity to buy these before, but these are, I think these are still considered, they're not gold notes, but they're Federal Reserve notes that are redeemable in gold on demand, the United States Treasury, or in gold or lawful money at any Federal Reserve Bank. So, cool 1928 series. These come in 2 ways, I believe. So they have their letter, and then the more rare ones is the numerical districts on here. So you have 12 for San Francisco, you have 9 for Minneapolis, and then you have 7 for Chicago. So I just have 1 of each of those. But those are a little tougher. I'm not quite sure on the market on those. And then I also do buy in bulk 1934 and 1928 series green seals. Basically, again, you make a few percentage over face value on the stuff. I pay a few percent over face, and I get a few percent over that. So it's not anything crazy. It doesn't move the needle too much, but there's probably 300 some odd face here, and it moves the needle, and it's not something that you make a lot of money on, but it makes the dealers happy that you're buying it from, and it makes your clients happy because you're getting them the material that they need. This was fun. I was really happy to see this. I don't get a big opportunity to buy kind of what I would consider rare or fancy serial notes, serial numbers, I should say. This is number 29 out of however many. So this is pretty rare. It is low serial number, I believe. This came off the first sheet. So I have no clue what something like this goes for. I would guess between $200 and $300. I'm kind of kicking around getting it graded. It is relatively off-center, but I don't know how much that will affect the grade or the price or whatever. But I may throw it up for $300 on the website. Again, super cool. Not something you see every day, but cannot complain about that. Couple of, again, cheap Federal Reserve notes. These are both conditional problems, but again, you make a little bit on these. I wish I could have bought more, and I did. I bought a lot of really high quality currency, and which was super odd. Normally, people are offering me coins, bullion, but at that show there was a lot of people, offering me currency, which I was happy to do. I love buying currency. I love buying quality stuff. So I bought a few gold notes, about some other, about a $1 Martha, stuff like that. But one of my main big paper buyers was there up from Chicago, and he's like, "Hey Simon, I saw that you got this. Can I just, make a little bit of money?" So basically, I bought it. I offered it to him, and he paid me a little bit over what I paid. Probably close to retail, and he has a way better market. He has way more customers for paper, for that kind of thing. But I was happy to do that. This is nice. St. Louis VF35. Nice motif on that. This will probably be in like that 375 range. Nothing else I can add about that. It's just fun. Nice large size. I like the eagle motif on the back there. We'll do this one. This one I need to do something with. Really, the note is probably about $30, but I don't like these older PCGS notes. You see that's starting to come apart there at the top, so I need to either get a little glue or something and just put a dab on there, or like a glue stick, and just reassemble it, or just leave it as is and basically sell it at cost, knowing that it's got a problem. The last one here. My wife and I went to school in Menominee, and I wanted to get a Menominee note. So Menominee, Wisconsin, UW Stout, and not anything crazy. I paid $225 on something like this. I thought that was fair, considering that some of these nationals are very, very difficult to get. And it is a little interesting. You can see, I don't know if it's like an ink error or something here where something else was imprinted on it, but still pretty cool. $10. This is what's called a plain back. If it was a date back, there would be the dates here on the back on the other side of Liberty. But nice note here. This is just going to go right in my personal collection. Let's see. Got to talk about some coins. We'll cover this stuff. Got a stack of Rattlers here that I showed off at the beginning. All of these are going to go off to CAC to get stickered first before coming up for sale. And I'll do a CAC submission video as well as unboxing, etc., etc. But I thought all of these are nice enough. I thought that they came from a relatively original collection. But I think that these all would have a reasonable shot. This one there, 85O MS64. I think this is quite nice. Nice clean cheek on there. And the Morgans don't jazz me. I would not probably keep these in my collection. I already have some nice Rattler Morgans, so I don't think I need to double up on those too much. This 63 is very, very nice. That's just putting a little asterisk in there. If I get a gold sticker, I will be keeping it. Green stickers, I got plenty of those, and I'll just be willing to put those up for sale. Dimple here doesn't really have crazy frosted devices like usual, but it does have pretty nice mirrored fields here. The back is a lot nicer. It's kind of got some funky toning on there, but you can see pretty good reflectivity on something like that. 040 is a pretty common date. 87 PL. That one is pretty nice. I think I like that quite a lot. In 63. Not too scuffy. Like crazy distracting hits. And again, pretty original collection. I thought the guy, I had not met him before, but he had most of this priced fairly reasonably. So I just paid him what he was wanting. I did not have to fight him too much on any of the pricing. And maybe he wanted to move them, or it was old pricing, or he just didn't know certain values. But really, I think if he's asking something that's not out of the question, and it's not, if he was wanting like $10 a piece, yeah, I would probably tell him I should pay him more, But really, he priced these very fairly, considering the market demand on these. And then both of these Ikes here are like incredibly nice, both in their respective, but Ikes and Rattlers, for some reason, are just like silly expensive. They are like $150 to $175 each, which is like, these are, if this was in a PCGS normal modern holder, it would be a $25 coin. But just because they're in the Rattler, not a lot are in there, and they are just crazy expensive. And they're probably $400 if they get a green bean sticker, and maybe $1,000 if they get a gold sticker. So, I mean, that's wishful thinking, but both of these I think are like superb, really nice. There's some little spotting, things like that, but again, I'm looking at the fields here. I don't see anything that's like crazy distracting on here. This one, again, some interesting coloration. I don't see any PVC when I look at it like that. But again, I am very curious, especially on those two, what they will come back as. And then the next one here, I'm going to submit this one to CAC. I think this is a superb example of a AU55. I have had AU58s that don't look this nice, that are white. So I think this is a excellent example of what the coin should look like. This is going to go off to get stickered. Very high eye appeal. And normally when I'm looking for, with these kinds of coins, cap busts in particular, I want to make sure that they're not dipped out, meaning they're not super flat. They may have some luster still, but if I'm looking at a white coin, I'm looking at the devices, there's still some, it's all original. If it was dipped out, you would still see some color in the devices, but I think that this is just incredibly original. I am was super happy, and I paid up for this coin to get this, but I think this has a very solid shot at getting a sticker. Retail as it stands, this is probably a $500 coin, $525, between $500 and $550. If it gets a sticker, it's probably a $700 to $800 coin, and that's just because it's very difficult to get stickers on these types of coins. I think this is like incredibly original. This is incredibly nice. You just have full luster. It's not washed out. I mean, I could talk about this coin all day, but I have high confidence that this coin here will get a sticker. All right, let me see. We got some raw coins, and then we'll do the graded coins here as well. All these coins will be up on the website. Graded coins, raw coins, I think I will put the nicer stuff up on the website that I picked up. Again, I don't normally buy raw type. It shows, but again, these raw coins I bought from the guy that had the Rattlers, and he really had some nice quality material. He had nice paper. I didn't buy any from him, but again, really quality stuff. So this one here, 1803 half cent. This is a really nice original XF40 brown. I need to polish this holder. You can see it's got like crazy scuffing. What I use is like a poly watch solution for acrylic watches. You just put a dab on it with a microfiber and you just go up and down here, and it just gets rid of all the micro scratches. But this is a really, really nice coin here. This will be $1,000, and this coin is particularly difficult. I looked at what like an AU would cost someone, and it is about double that. So it's $1,900 retail. This is $1,000 in XF, $1,900 for an AU50. So again, for someone that wants a nice coin with some meat on it, that doesn't want to spend multiple thousands, this is kind of the option for you. But again, super attractive, nice original color on something like this. I cannot complain about that. Carson Cities, I am rebuilding. I sold a lot of them very recently, so I'm trying to rebuild some of the dates that I do not have. 80cc, this is going to be $1,000 as well. Really nice original OGH. It's got some chatter on the cheeks. It's a little scuffy. I do not think that this would pass CAC. It just has too much going on. Again, there's no like really major hits that distract, your eye. They really pop when you hold it like this, but in reality, there's nothing that really is distracting. There's no big bag marks or anything like that. But I think that there's enough chatter going on to not keep it, or to keep it from getting the sticker. Next one here is a 1912 Barber Quarter MS63 with a sticker. Very, very attractive. Again, speaks for itself here. Really nice kind of gentle golden tone here. This is going to be available for $525 on the website. And then the last one here, 85S AU58 with a CAC sticker. Not terribly expensive on something like this. This is going to be $450, which I suppose it is a little bit tougher to get this kind of thing. I know some of the S mints can be very expensive. I don't think this is one of them. I believe it's the 83 and 84, but 85S, a little colorful, nice, attractive, and it's already stickered for $450 on the website. These guys, kind of fun, and I believe a subscriber sold me these, so big thank you for that. But these will be available for $65. I will probably throw these up as a set, $65 a piece, so that'll be like $195, I think, if my mental math is correct. But it's got the W, S, and P, and they're all graded and all that, and they got the nice holders, so nothing too wrong with that. I'll put those on the website just because I got the set. If they don't sell, I'll just throw them in the showcases, and someone will pick them up there. And the last thing here is I bought some really, really nice raw type. And I'm always looking to buy quality raw type, just like quality coins. I think for the time being, I'm going to try to sell them raw at pretty reasonable prices, not full retail. Leave some room if someone wants to get them graded. But I think that if they sit, and they may go on PCGS submission at some point. But I have a couple of lower grade dollars. These are seeded dollars. Both of these, the lower grade ones, are 72 Phillies. Very common mint. These are probably in the low, fine, high VG. And I had to double check, but both of these, they have nice definition on the shields, and you see partial letters of Liberty. They're probably a low fine, would be my best guess on something like this. Both very original coins. Again, nothing too distracting about them. Very, very similar. And either one of these is going to be available between $350 and $400 to the website. The nicer dollar, this is probably a VF25 or something like that. It's a reasonable VF. It's not bottom of the barrel VF. It's a little bit nicer than that. This is going to be $600 to $650 on this one, and it is a 60O. So not run of the mill necessarily. It is a little lower mintage. It's like I want to say, I don't remember exactly, but A little bit better date, not like key date, but lower mintage, not worth much more than one of these in this grade. So that'll be available for $6 to $6.50 on the website. This is a stellar Flying Eagle scent. This is how you want your copper to look, guys. This is like really, really nice patina, good color, exactly how you want this kind of thing to look. This is going to be available for $200 on the website. This is right around the XF mark. Very, very attractive. I should actually probably see if I need this for my typeset, just because it is really, really nice. It's nicer than most of the stuff that comes in the shop. That's why I purchased it raw from another dealer. And the last one here is a 1875 20 cent. This is the 75S. Again, this is a nice, very, very nice XF coin. This is going to be available for $350. Like, you do not, most of the ones that you see come just totally shot, nothing left to them. Very similar to the Flying Eagle scent here. But there is a nice, healthy amount of meat. This is perfect for someone that is doing a typeset, that wants something a little bit nicer than just like a VG or something like that. Because most of the stuff, I probably have 3 or 4 that are like good VG. And I was just over the moon to find something like this. Very, very attractive. That'll be available for $350 through the website. But that is that, guys. I appreciate everything, all the support. But that wraps up this video, and now we'll dive into the giveaway. All right, everybody, so let's get into that giveaway. Today, we have some nice proof coins from our, I believe this is a Bahamas, yes, Mint's proof set here. Pulled the silver coins out, but no sense in throwing these in with the rest of the foreign. It's a nice little group and some fun shapes there, as well as the nice kind of tropical motifs. So nice giveaway there for you guys. Please remember to like, comment, subscribe to be entered into the giveaway for each video. You can check out all the information here about us, website, Instagram, jewelry, Google, eBay, etc. through the landing page and the description of each of the videos. eBay here, we got a nice group of watches. Looks like World War I and II medals up and things like that, as well as our bulk items as well. So go bid or buy those now if you're interested. All the nicer items are available through the website as well. If you guys are interested, check that out. Instagram, behind the scenes, all that good stuff there. And the jewelry Instagram as well. And let's grab the comments for the giveaway. 37 comments. Thank you, guys. All right, Edwin, you are the winner. Please reach out to claim your prize. We'll see you guys in the next one. Bye-bye now.